is your opinion of stop and frisk?
Stop and frisk, as long as it's done constitutionally. In fact, I'm a big fan of stop and frisk. I think that that's been mischaracterized in media. I think that somebody said it tonight that we can't respond to crime based on pandering to special interests. Stop and frisk is a term. It's a Supreme Court decision. The 1964 case in Terry versus Ohio. What the Supreme Court did invariably is lower the standard. Before 1964, cops needed a warrant for everything. But what the courts did, those 9 justices, the Warren Court did, was they realized that America had changed. Our founding fathers couldn't have imagined that people would walk around with AK-47s and 357 Magnums. They didn't exist during colonial times when the Constitution was crafted. So what the government did was lower the standard to give police officers that tool. And all you need is reasonable, articulable suspicion. Lawyers call it RAS. I got a couple of lawyers in here tonight, RAS. Reasonable, articulable suspicion. That does simply mean it's a compound word. It's a noun and a verb. Reason is the noun, and able is the verb. Put them together, you have the term reasonable. As long as an officer can articulate reasonably that this person is wearing or carrying a handgun for the purpose of committing a crime, then he or she has the constitutional right to stop that person. And what a frisk is, it's only a patting of the outer layer of the clothing, right? So if you pat the outer layer of my clothing, I find an object that the police officer believes to be illegal, I'm going from reasonable articulable suspicion to what? Probable cause. Probable cause to search. You have probable cause has 2 components. Probable cause to search and probable cause to seize. So to answer your question, sir, I'm a big fan of stop and frisk if it's done in compliance with the Constitution. And that's what I want my office to do, to be able to use that tool.
Is that active in the police force?
We use it all the time, and I want my officers to be able to articulate, to be able to use their words, as we tell elementary school children. Use your words. What drew you to that person? And as long as you're able to make a reasonable argument, and the reason why they use reasonable, for the very reason everybody's sitting in here, you don't have to have legal training, be a lawyer or a police officer to understand why the officer did what he or she did. And as long as you're able to do that, and if you get a gun, then we just got a gun off of a woman, I believe, recently. I don't know when it was, but don't hold me. I read that today in my briefing packet. And the officer did a good job. At least the scenario I read was an excellent job. So yes, sir, I firmly believe. You can put that on the record. I firmly believe in stop and frisk. What I don't believe in is just randomizing people, targeting people because of their race. Anybody could unlawfully carry a gun. It's not only black people. The Capitol Gazette, that wasn't a black man that went in there and unfortunately killed those 5 journalists. So everybody, we have a lot of people walking around with guns, regardless of race, color, creed, or ethnicity, who have mental illness, who are drug addicted, and shouldn't have a gun. So I'm all for stop and frisk as long as it doesn't feed into the stereotype that all black men are armed and pose a threat. What I do believe in, whoever you are, and I want my officers to be out there to use the skills that we teach them to challenge anybody who may be unlawfully wearing or concealing a handgun. I hope that answers your question.